Want to know what the most annoying thing on the planet is? Check out them letters and listen. Swift's installing fucking backup alarms on their shit. Reveille. Well, I didn't think I needed to do this, or it was something that needed to happen, but since there's a apparent dearth of information regarding equipment that you ought to have on a truck, I'm not going to be all-inclusive. I'm an owner-operator. The amount of equipment that I carry is significantly larger than what your average company driver needs or should be carrying, because most companies aren't going to want you to even turn a wrench on their stuff. So one crescent wrench, an airline, some spare friggin' lights, fuses, and a full set of fluids is going to pretty much be the standard and be good enough. But I'm going to break out everything since I need to clean stuff anyway. So this is by no means an all-inclusive list of equipment that you should or should not carry on your truck. However, this is what I carry, and I'm actually increasing the amount of stuff that I carry. Right here, we've got basically expendables. I've got a spare LED light because one of the Grote ones, in their infinite wisdom, uses a non-standard plug, and due to the age of my Volvo, there was an issue with wiring, so I had to cut off the old wiring, put on one of these new ones. So I've got that one, I've got this. If the wiring's still good for the other side, if the wiring shits to bed, then I've got this one. It's got a standard plug size. Every time I replace my wipers, provided that the other wipers are just old and not absolute shit, keep them on the truck. The reason I keep them on the truck is that I've had ice storms that I drove in that ended up making my truck spontaneously shed its wipers in a rather glorious fashion onto the shoulder. And the hell if I'm gonna go fishing when it's freaking wintertime, snowing, and there's nowhere to stop. Spare fuel filters, because it's always good to have spare fuel filters. They can clog really easily. They're a pre-filter on my truck, and then you've got actually a primary filter that's on the engine, because I have a D13. Most other trucks do it the same way, so I can replace those. I also have the original Davco top cover, lid, whatever you want to call it, screw cap, because I replaced it with the newer style, which is a ratchet style, like how you can't over tighten your car's fuel cap. Same thing, it tightens only just so much. This is a height pull. I run flatbed. Loads can be tall, so this height pull lets me see whether I'm oversized, and if I am, and just have an idea on distances. It also is handy, just like this pull, with regards to that this one is just an extending painter's pull. But the nice thing is that with my tape here, my edge protectors have holes in them, so I can put edge protector and be able to go up to the top of the load and not have an issue. It just collapses up and hides in the same spot as everything else. Broom, because sweeping off the deck is a good thing. Some loads will end up having crap in them, both drive-in, reefer, everything else. Reefer, you're going to want a blower with if you've got the I-beam style flooring, but drive-in and flatbed, you're going to want to sweep it out. Places are going to want to have a clean drive-in, and with flatbed specifically, because it's not enclosed, any debris that's left on the deck is potentially going into somebody's windshield or a motorcyclist's face. So every time I get done with a load, I inspect the deck, and if the deck has any sort of debris, this bad boy comes out. And some cleaning stuff. Obviously Windex, I've got my own bottle that fits a little better. I carry my own extendable squeegee because sometimes I'm cleaning it and I'm not at the fuel island. Same with the Dobie pads. These Dobie pads, however you want to call them, these things will not scratch your glass, and in combination with your Windex and overzealous application of Windex at that, keep the windshield wet while you're scrubbing. You can clean it off and make it just as good as new. Simple Green for cleaning the floor in the truck, since the front of my truck is rubberized, and then I've got a delineating mark to carpet in my sleeper. And then Turtle Wax Dash and Glass for cleaning on the inside. I'll use it on the glass sometimes, but usually I'm just using Windex. Double stick tape is always handy. WD-40 is always handy, especially considering that I use ratchet binders and snap binders. Ratchet binders, every time I use them, before I put them away, I'm spraying them down with WD-40. Cable ties. If you can't figure out how to fix it with zip ties, then probably shouldn't be trucking. I've got stuff that's fixed with my truck right now as zip ties. Spare nuts and bolts, spare clevises with pins. These are good for things that you want to fix now but want to be able to get loose. These are obviously if you want to put it on, don't want it to go anywhere. Wiring parts, wire stripper, liquid adhesive, or liquid electrical tape, real electrical tape. All those are handy for just doing random stuff. I do projects in the truck, and these wire strippers are the tits, or at least that style. Detection of problems. Infrared thermometer. You just shoot it at whatever you're doing, and the ground is 81 degrees. You can probably see the laser beam, maybe not, but it shoots a laser where you're shooting. These Slide King Nebo lights. You've got your standard adjustment for tight or narrow beam, but wait, there's more. It's also got a LED bar that you can use. And the flashing is really nice when you're working outside of the truck and it's dark and you just want that little extra beyond your hazards and triangles that, hey, please stay away or slow the hell down. It also has a magnet, so if you've actually got a truck that's made out of metal, ta-da, it'll slap anywhere and you can be able to provide illumination anywhere. It also is rechargeable, just uses your standard micro USB. It's nice. Snow. I am not scared of chaining, so I've also got myself a snow broom. This snow broom is nice because it gets big enough to actually be able to do an entire hood, so you're not blasting yourself with everything, and it folds up nice and neat to be able to cover it up. What else? Obviously triangles, you're always going to want to have those on your truck. It's mandatory. Spare small piece of airline. I can get her done, make it do. That is originally a strap cutter that I secured from being left in a dry van when I still worked at night. So someone at Amazon decided to leave it there, I guess. I don't know. I figured it out when I parked for the night and did check at the trailer. But hey, you know what it's also good for? Seatbelt cutter if I need to get out of the truck quick for some reason. Fluids. Diesel 911. You're going to want that. If you're stuck going way up north and you're not using additive or not doing a number 1, number 2 mix or going straight number 1, you can have gelling problems. Most companies do their own thing, whether or not you can do it or not. I will run straight number 1 if I'm going north of 80, pretty much, in the wintertime, just because I don't want to get stuck.
I will interject and say that's also the reason for the 3 fuel filters.
Yeah. Spare coolant. Spare coolant is always handy to have. At one point I had a weird leak. It ended up that when I had the coolant system flushed and cleaned and everything, they didn't tighten the goddamn coolant filter on correctly. So 50-50, bam, good to go.
And this stuff, I just get it at O'Reilly's. I've seen it at AutoZone. You don't have to buy it at the truck stop. It is the correct red.
At least you've got different styles of coolant. This is the right stuff for me. There's some different mixes, and the thing is that you don't want to mix different types because some of them can turn into sludge and make things really nasty. Spare Earl. You always want some spare Earl on the truck. It's just a good thing to have. If you open it, you might as well either use it all or throw it away because you don't want unsealed, leakable one loose inside your stuff. Spare windshield washer fluid. That's actually probably going to get poured in right now just because I know that I'm low. Funnels. Funnels are always handy. If you're putting any of these fluids in there, you're going to want funnels, otherwise you're going to be slopping it all over the damn place. Like I said, I'm not scared of the winter. This is the standard chain wrench that comes with your chains. It works. it's not the greatest. I like this T-style contraption here because one, it gives you a little more leverage, two, it lets you be able to basically get at it from any angle. Having a glad hand lock is always handy. Whether or not you actually end up needing it, those ones you can pop up really easily. The good thing is I always have a good quality kingpin lock, which I don't have right now. First responder bag. I'm a former EMT, former firefighter, former ranger, medic, and so I carry a little bit of first aid supplies that are not intended for your everyday alley stuff. These are more along the lines of someone who's having a really bad day. Got a cat tourniquet, got a CPR mask, I've got numerous ACE bandages to be able to stabilize stuff. I've got chem lights to be able to illuminate safely in a car crash situation because of the fact that you're probably not going to have an intrinsically safe environment at that point. And then 2 different sizes of emergency trauma dressings, otherwise known as Israelis. They can, because it's basically a pressure dressing that's in combination with an ACE wrap. If I need to, I can also use them for stabilizing a larger fracture injury. I don't have a C-collar. I don't have a lot of stuff that I would normally like to have, but there's a reason for that. If I go any more invasive than what I have right here with regards to airways or anything else, then it starts to get interesting with regards to, what is that called?
Good Samaritan
Good
laws.
Samaritan law. Bad juju. 2 bags that all this stuff fits in. Got them at
Harbor Freight.
Yeah, Harbor Freight. It's like $9 each. USAF survival knife comes with its own sharpening stone. It's a decent little knife. It works. Air to line. Air to line. You are driving a Class 8 truck. This Class 8 truck has air brakes. The air brakes means that you have an air supply and an air compressor that's operated by the engine. You can fill your own tires. All you do is you set your brakes and hook up to your emergency glad hand with this. So you got your trailer brakes and your parking brakes set on the truck. You take off your emergency line, your red line, hook it to that, supply the trailer. Ta-da! This line now has 120, 125, up to 140, depending upon your truck, pressure inside of it, pounds per square inch. Then you take this handy dandy doodad right here and you jack it into your quick release, and lo and behold, you can do your tires. Some of them will just have the air chuck swaged onto the end. This one did. I took it off because I wanted to be able to put a air sweep and a grinder on there and stuff. Obviously, air gauge. You're going to want a good air gauge. So I like these ones because they're tough. They go up to 220, which if your tires are at 220 on one of these trucks, you're doing it wrong. But it's nice because you got a straight shot and then you got an angle. The straight shot makes it a lot easier to be able to get in on your inner duals, and the angle is nice for whatever. Strap wrenches. Strap wrenches are good for filters. That's basically about it. Anything that's irregular but large you need to do. Filter wrench. This goes on the Davco, and we'll show you right quick. This is the Davco pre-filter. It's a fuel water separator primarily, but it's also filtration. You can get them down to 5 micron filters. That way it actually protects the engine. Normally most companies, or companies that make motors, will spec them for 25 because they're just using it as a air or a fuel water separator. This is the top I was talking about, how it ratchets. I can't tighten anymore. But to get this off, I need this wrench to go around this nut, plastic nut, and whip it around. And originally the vent cap on the top, this went into the teeth there. So that's that. That's what you end up, is going to clog first, and it's supposed to protect everything else. Clear.
Clear.
And then just the various assortment of craft. I've got One vice grip. I know there's another on the truck somewhere. I just need to remember where the hell it is.
WeBoost?
The WeBoost antenna is bolted on now.
Okay.
You also have 3 different sizes of channel locks, 2 different crescent wrenches because you're going to end up having stuff that's opposing. A combination wrench set, one of the truck stop wrench sets that I ended up buying myself. Spare hanger for your airlines. For me, my airlines are on springs, run underneath my headache rack, and do all sorts of jizzy whack shit. Sometimes the hanger can break. You don't want it to be resting on anything. You don't want it to get tangled up and stuff. Rescue tape can basically solve anything. It's squared away. Any tool. You can always dig yourself out of a situation, or you can dig a bigger hole. If you can't figure out what to use with a small shovel, then probably shouldn't be driving. That's just spare bits for the grinder. Magnets to be able to fix flags to anything that needs it. Gloves. If I'm seriously wrenching, I'm going to want gloves because probably going to be on the side of the road and probably not going to be washing my hands. Even though I've got what's that stuff?
Monkey wipes.
Yeah, monkey wipes. They're really good degreasing wipes. 2 different hammers. One metal, one dead blow. The dead blow is the one I use normally, but because it's soft-ended, I'll use it to strike this one if it's something sharp metal, whatever, that I don't want to damage my dead blow with. And that would be about it. So, in closing, there's a whole lot of shit that you can carry on your truck that's going to make your life a lot easier with regards to operation. As a company driver at night, all I carried was spare lights, spare fuses. They issued coolant, oil, washer fluid, and you could get your washer fluid refill for free. Trucks all had airlines on them. You had a crowbar and you had a sledgehammer, and I carried 1 crescent wrench. And the reason for that is because I'm mechanically inclined. I've worked on vehicles before and everything like that, both professionally and hobbyist. Night would fire you outright if you worked on the trucks. To a certain extent, there were some things that you could solve, problems that you could fix on your own, and they wouldn't give you a ration of shit about. But generally speaking, you weren't turning a wrench on it. So I simply limited the amount of tools that I had in order to prevent from getting into trouble. Now that it's my truck, my setup, my responsibility, this is the amount of stuff that I carry. And I'm growing a little bit more because I'm still in the process of getting everything squared away on the truck. Oh yeah, lighter. You always want a lighter. You can always use a lighter for something, even if it's just burning this fucker to the ground because you got pissed at it. Anyway, you guys have a good one. From the Rookie Veteran. Drive safe. There are a couple of things that I didn't mention in the layout that I do keep on my truck. I have a military style 100-mile-an-hour tape. I have duct tape, and I also have more electrical tape in various sizes and colors other than what was listed in my layout. There's more stuff on the inside of the truck that I just didn't end up remembering getting out. I remember it when I need it, and otherwise 550 cord, obviously you can tie things up with it. It's really handy, and it's got 550-pound tensile strength. The duct tape in 100-mile tape. 100-mile tape is more fabric than duct tape normally is. It's also got a stronger skin, so it doesn't wear through and end up having adhesive that gets all over the place, so it's nice. Duct tape has more tack and will stick to stuff better. And then electrical tape is just, sometimes if you just need a small something that needs to be airtight, you can be able to seal it up with electrical tape better than you could with duct tape, because electrical tape is obviously plastic. My list of things that I have is by no means complete, all-inclusive, a recommended carrying list. It's just an idea. This is what I carry. Your situation, every single trucker's situation varies, so you do you is the best way to put it. If this gives you some good ideas, great. Please feel free to comment below if like, hey, I didn't think of that. And if you got something as a suggestion that you think I could use given what I already have and a specific task that I may actually have on this rig or doing flatbed that you can think of, then by all means, throw it down there in the comments. Beyond that, I don't know what else to say. I am currently bebopping around, making some money and hauling around some junk. So you guys have a good one. Keep the dirty side down.